What am I working on? I'm working on something that will change the world, and human life as we know it. Seth Brundle is a brilliant but eccentric scientist, driven by an unyielding pursuit of innovation. His latest marvel, a teleportation device, holds the promise of revolutionizing human travel. However, for the moment, it can only teleport inanimate objects. One fateful evening, during a Meet the Press event hosted by Bartok Science Industries, the company funding his work, he encounters Veronica. Driven by a strong desire to showcase his invention and gain recognition, he decides to demonstrate it to her. Enthralled by his creation, Veronica resolves to document his groundbreaking experiment, eager to uncover the secrets behind his enigmatic invention. They soon form an unexpected connection. While experimenting with the machine, Seth makes a breakthrough in enabling his computer to comprehend living tissue, ultimately resulting in the successful teleportation of a baboon. Before they have a chance to celebrate, Veronica makes a swift exit, leaving Seth with a gnawing worry that she might be reigniting her connection with her editor, Stathis Barans. In a drunken state, Seth decides to use himself as a test subject and activates his machine, completely oblivious to the tiny housefly that joins him in the transmitter pod. As Brundle emerges from the pod, the experiment seems to be a success. His senses heighten, his strength magnifies, he revels in his newfound abilities. However, Veronica senses a dark change in Seth and tries to warn him. But Seth believes that Veronica is jealous of his success and, in a fit of rage, he kicks her out of his life. Soon, the metamorphosis begins. Brundle's once vibrant spirit gives way to a monstrous entity as the fly's genetic code fuses with his own. Meanwhile, Veronica discovers she carries Seth's child. One night, she visits him with the intention of revealing her pregnancy, but is shocked to find him in his current state. His body contorts, grotesque and unrecognizable. Before she could tell him, Seth asks her, "Have you ever heard of insect politics?" "Neither have I. Insects don't have politics. They're very brutal. No compassion, no compromise. We can't trust the insect. I'd like to become the first insect politician. You see, I'd like to, but I'm afraid." "I don't know what you're trying to say," Veronica says tearfully. Seth then replies in a regretful tone, I'm saying I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it. But now the dream is over, and the insect is awake. I'm saying, I'll hurt you if you stay." Veronica, terror-stricken by his words, departs with a shattered heart, unable to summon the courage to reveal her pregnancy. Consumed by the dread of what might come, she pleads with Stathis to arrange an abortion. However, in a final, desperate plea to cling to his fading humanity, Seth intercepts her and brings her back to his lab. There, he implores her to bear the child, seeing it as a last connection to his diminishing sense of self. As a last resort, Seth integrates a fusion protocol into the telepod's core, aiming to restore his humanity by diluting the encroaching fly genes. Stathis, deeply concerned for Veronica's safety, storms into Seth's lab armed with a shotgun. A brutal clash ensues, leaving Stathis severely injured. It is Veronica's anguished plea that halts Seth's descent into total monstrosity. He confides in Veronica about his audacious plan to utilize the telepods, merging their essences with the unborn child's, forming what he envisions as the ultimate family, a singular, fused entity. In the ensuing struggle, Veronica forcefully wrenches away Seth's jaw, setting off a horrific transformation into an insectoid nightmare, stripping away his last vestiges of humanity. As Seth enacts his plan, imprisoning her in the first telepod and taking his place in the other, Stathis, fueled by a surge of determination, severs the vital connections. Veronica manages to break out of the first telepod unharmed, but unfortunately for Seth, the fusion process commences and merges his monstrous form together with chunks of metal and cables from the second telepod. Seth inches towards Veronica, who clutches Stathis's shotgun, her reluctance to pull the trigger evident. With one of his claws, he guides the shotgun towards his head, pleading with Veronica to end his suffering. She pauses, then closes her eyes and squeezes the trigger. The resounding blast pierces the lab's eerie silence, bringing an end to Seth's torment. Veronica collapses to the ground, her soul burdened by the gravity of her choice and the loss of the man she once loved. Thank you for watching. To stay connected and show your support, consider subscribing and giving us a thumbs up.